Factoids.
What are factoids?
Stay tuned and find out.
Welcome to the United States of Formula One. Follow us for more F1 coverage. Now your hosts, Nikki and Cookie. Take it away, boys.
USF1. We're here on a special show, a Factoids show. The season's over. Cookie, can you please explain to the fine people out there what the hell is a factoid?
Factoids. It's just a little mishmash show of all different information. There are statistics. There is some season review stuff. There's some news. It's all over the place. It's kind of a miscellaneous show of factoids.
Factoids. Mm-hmm. Still have no idea. Let's get into it.
Let's get right into it. First little factoid. Everybody knows.
Now I get it.
We just kind of wanted to see, this is the team with the most change.
Mm-hmm.
Really the teams with the only change, kind of. I mean, you have Cadillac coming in. You have...
Cadillac's coming in. Yes!
Yes.
Audi.
You have Audi.
But they still have whole
same
company.
drivers, changing the team name. But this is the one where you have Hajar finally getting the promotion he deserves to join Max.
Hold on. If you go back to our... when the drivers didn't have seats yet, we predicted this exact thing. Just wanted to give myself a little pat on the back there.
Yeah, and I think as well as he raced as a rookie in the Baby Bulls, no one else wanted to be in that seat anyhow. Might have been that. So you have Lawson staying where he was demoted to part of the way through last season. And then you got rookie
Arvid Lindblad.
And you called this as well. You said about halfway through the season that he was going to fill that seat next season. So he will be our only rookie on the grid next year.
Yes, it's going to be hard to do that rookie report card show, but we're going to do it anyway. Underclassmen, it's called.
Now this, if you watched our prediction shows of at the beginning of the season, we predicted where the drivers would finish, where the teams would finish, and then we showed the final results and how dumb we were. We used a lot of information like this, and when you look at it, you can kind of understand.
It all makes sense. I actually wish we had this on the, this would explain some things.
We wouldn't have looked quite as stupid. So this is the top 10 drivers, how they finished last year versus how they finished this year. So we all know Max won his 4th championship last year.
In Las Vegas, we were there. Sorry.
We weren't. Yes, we were there last year.
Yeah.
We were in Vegas again this year. Nothing was clinched because it came down to the last race in Abu Dhabi when Lando did it. So that was just a flip-flop. Lando and Verstappen just flip-flop places. The surprises here are Leclerc finishing 3rd last year and dropping all the way down to 5th. And not just dropping to 5th, but dropping over 100 points.
Yeah.
114 points less this season than he scored last season.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is that your color commentation to that?
I'm upset about him. I'm upset about Hamilton. But it's weird because if you look at Hamilton, where he finished last year, 223 points, he actually did better this year in placement. But how many points? 156?
Yeah, he scored like 70 less points this year than last year, but placed a point higher. Now, this is a testament to how the bottom 10 drivers were actually competitive this year. So you had a lot of guys in the 70s and 80s in points in those out of the top 10. Last season, they were all scoring no points, 17 points, barely any points. So it was beefed up into those top 8 were beefed up last season, where it was kind of the wealth was spread a little bit this year. So it made it a little weird because you can look at other ones like that. Like you look at Russell, 245 points last year. Scores 319. Yes, it's more, but he jumped 2 complete spots up. And if you look at teams as a whole, look at Sainz, look at Hamilton, flip-flop spots.
Yeah.
Sainz drops all the way down from 290 points to 64 points. Now that, Williams was a surprise team this year.
Huge.
Was it because of the car? Or was it because you have a driver like Sainz who finishes 5th last year in a Ferrari, drops all the way down to 9th.
Get a new team principal too, Fowles, who is the absolute man. Boogie just sneezed back there. So I told him just go ahead and do it. If you look at the points, the amount of points from last year on the top drivers, you can just tell that they were the dominant drivers. If you go back to like Perez, poor guy lost his seat back this year in Cadillac, 152, he'd be above Antonelli.
Yeah.
So
he would almost finish 6th. He was right around Hamilton. I think another thought is this, okay, you have Russell, on Mercedes. You have Hamilton on Ferrari, both finishing 6th. Russell actually improves this year. So Russell says, I'm going to take what I learned in Mercedes. I'm going to go up a couple spots. Hamilton, I mean, if you're going over to Ferrari, don't you think that's going to be a huge upgrade over Mercedes?
Well, and that's when we were doing our predictions. I will say, I mean, we thought he was going to do better than Sainz. Mm-hmm. So it's just whatever. It is what it is. I'm still upset about the predictions.
I think this is a very telling sign of why the season went the way that it did.
Yeah.
Why predictions were so far off. Other than maybe the top 2, you could even get Piastri into there, but Leclerc with a fall off. Hamilton didn't improve near as much as people would have thought moving over seats.
Gasly.
And then you look, the biggest thing to me is, okay, Hamilton's on Mercedes, right? He's this world-class driver. He's won 7 times. He's going to go over to Ferrari. Yes, he improves a spot, but a rookie comes in, fills his spot in Mercedes, and finishes the exact same position in 7th. Now, 73 less points scored by Antonelli this year than Hamilton last year, but they both finished 7th in the standings. So was Hamilton really the answer? I mean, there's all these nuances we kind of like to debate and battle between. I just think it's pretty crazy. I mean, I think it's cool that the total points were pretty similar. 437 Max last year, 423 for Lando. Just a lot tighter race in those top 3, as we all know.
We'll go to the teams, because this is, again, how we are basing our predictions off of, from 24 to 25.
Right.
That's huge. Look how many more points McLaren got. So that just shows how much more dominant
damn
they were.
666,
Yeah.
kind of creepy last year. I mean, not quite, but almost 200 points more for the champion. I mean, we were talking earlier in the season, they might hit 1,000 points because they were finishing 1-2 every single race. So that was crazy. But yeah, Ferrari dropping from 2nd to 4th. And not just that, but dropping 254 points.
Yeah.
Ferrari scored 254 less points this year than last year. Again, McLaren with their domination stole a lot of those points, but that's a huge slide. Even Red Bull, they stayed in 3rd, but go from 589 to 451.
And that's
37 points.
Yeah, and that's, Perez scored 150 for Red Bull. Yuki couldn't do that, even come close. So imagine if you had just kept Perez and you got that 150, they would have been the second place team.
And that's a great argument for all the people that are like, why are you hating on Perez so much?
No.
152 points is a pretty good compared to Yuki, who's not even going to be in F1 next year. Maybe he's a backup driver somewhere.
And then you got top 5. You got top 5 Aston Martin last year, not even breaking 100 points. Okay, Williams being the top 5, breaking that 100 points. So it just, everybody was more competitive. And I think next year this is going to be squeezed into even more.
I think that's a lot of people's complaints about Formula One is that the good drivers, when a race starts, whoever qualifies in the top is going to win. When you see it starting to crunch up a little bit and then these new cars coming out next year, you're just hoping for that competitive feel that anybody has a chance any week, in theory. Maybe Alpine doesn't really have a chance. Maybe Cadillac's going to struggle because they're a brand new team. I get all that. But, I mean, even when you look at, say, Alpine, we're talking crap about them. They scored 65 points last year and finished 6th. 22 puts them all the way in 10th. I mean,
if they scored 65 points this year, they still would have been last.
Yeah, exactly. If they did the exact same as last year, which they were in 6th, that's a great point. And Williams, that's the true. They go from 17 points last year to 137. That's a 120-point increase that should take you from 9th to 5th place. So that makes a lot of sense to me. It was just weird.
Just to let you know, during our prediction, I did have Haas in 6th place. Now, if we go off of last year, points, and they scored 79 this year, they actually dropped, 2 places? 1 place?
Yeah.
They scored 79 this year. They would have been
in 6th place.
They would have been in 6th place. So kind of some reasoning of why we made our decisions.
It's McLaren. McLaren blew it up. When you're scoring 833 points as a team, you're stealing a lot of potential points from other teams and tightening up the rest of that grid. Kind of, it's almost competition by domination.
Competition
is how I'm going to phrase
by
it.
Domination.
Moving on to my favorite slide of this show. Boogie made it Tecmo Super Bowl 8-bit Nintendo-esque, which I dominated that game. I challenge any viewer to a game in that.
Yep.
I haven't played it in years, but I was so good at that game.
So we have 4 different race winners, right? I know we mentioned this on another episode. Boogie said this year we were going to have 12.
Yes.
12
So there are
different
20
race winners.
20 drivers on the grid. Boogie predicted at the beginning of the season
12
different winners. 12. In what world are 12 different drivers? No, we're not talking podiums here.
Winners. You said winners.
And we had 4. You had Norris, Piastri, Verstappen, and Russell. By race 10, you'd had your final race winner, and then it was just repeats after that. The one thing I see out of this is Piastri's extreme domination in the first half and Verstappen's extreme domination in the second half. And I think that's the telltale
Norris
sign.
just kind of stayed consistent
Yeah.
in the winning some races and staying on the podium. He had the unfortunate, where they had the power unit problem, or else he would have just locked it up probably in Qatar. And I don't know, it all worked out.
Was that in Australia?
No, that wasn't in Australia. I can't remember. Australia was the first race. I cannot remember.
That was
we were
right.
on the last lap, and he had a power unit issue.
Yeah, that's right.
And Piastri fell flat on his face in Baku.
But
So.
3PG Russell getting 2 race wins on the season, I think that's solid for him. There's a reason.
Yeah, and a huge. You don't see any red on there because I expected Leclerc.
0 Ferrari wins.
I expected Leclerc to win at least a race this season.
He won, 2 last year?
2 or 3? I don't know.
In 24?
They were dominant in 24. So that's
A lot of
crazy.
orange on that board. Very indicative of why they had 833 total points. And like you said, when Norris wasn't winning, he was finishing second, sometimes third. There was late in the season after Baku, starting in Baku, when Piastri wasn't winning, he was also finishing 7th, 6th, 8th out of the points. I mean, it was just disastrous when he started with such a good lead. It was unfortunate for him, but
Yeah.
he's a stoic man. Let's get past this grid. It's making me think of the early 1990s. This is an interesting one. I like this graphic that Boogie made. So was this from Sky Sports? So this shows teammates, how they qualified against each other, how they finished in points against each other, and also how they did in the race. So the points in the race should be somewhat similar. I guess the reasoning would be if both of you guys finish out of the points, who's finishing 15th versus 17th, which you're going to see quite a bit of that with like Haas, Alpine especially. I mean, obviously, you're going to have Norris and Piastri. You're going to have Papaya qualifying similar. Norris out-qualifies him.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the top teams, actually the top team, McLaren, they're pretty close. But
Tight.
then you go to, your other top 5 team like Red Bull, and you look at qualifying 22 to 0.
And it really was 24-0 because that's against Sonoda, so maybe they're not taking Lawson's into consideration.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So that's why we call it Team Verstappen. If you're going to out-qualify 24 out of 24 races, if you're going to have points 421 to 33.
33 points. That is, you can't be on the top team for Red Bull. If you just can't be.
And
When you're scoring
Yuki
33
did outplace
points.
him in one race, and that's when Antonelli knocked
Yeah,
Verstappen out of the race.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nothing
Yeah.
he did. He got knocked out, and he didn't really care. He went up to Antonelli after. He's like, it happens. But I think another surprising one other than Verstappen dominating is Leclerc-Hamilton.
That's ridiculous. 19-5.
Out-qualifies him 19 out of the 24 races.
And let's not mention the last 2 races, Hamilton was out in Q1. That is, you can't be on Ferrari and get out in Q1. You can't.
The season started and they said, we have 2 number 1 drivers. It's going to be so difficult to navigate. How does McLaren do it? We're going to have a 1A and 1B. And Leclerc said, no, I'm the number 1 driver. And Hamilton, other than winning a sprint race in China, is going to do nothing.
No. And
Nothing.
We were super excited when that happened. We're like, Hamilton is back. He's here. And then he left. I don't know where he went, but...
We have another 24-0 in qualifying.
Alonso
Alonso
and Stroll.
out-qualified Stroll every single race.
Fun fact, and I mention it a lot, Stroll, the most Q1 exits of any F1 driver of all time. I don't think that record is ever going to be broken.
I think your most competitive is probably Kick Sauber. And you got to give it to Bortoletto because Hülkenberg's biggest crack up against him is he's terrible in qualifying. He's out in Q1 a lot. And even if he gets to Q2, he ends up doing poorly there. Occasionally gets to Q3 and he's going to be the first one. He's going to qualify 10th.
Yep.
But then you look at how does that translate to the races? Well, he ends with 51 points, Bortoletto with 19. Of course, that one podium really helped skyrocket those points.
Shoot it up.
15 right there. But they were super similar. Hülkenberg beat him in 12 races. Bortoletto beat him in 11.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're pretty even when the race starts. That Hülkenberg's going to make up for maybe a poor qualifying.
Yeah, and the Baby Bulls were pretty close with the Lawson and Hajar. Hajar getting a podium this year boosts him up. And
But they were close in the races in the championship. But look at Hajar, out-qualified him 16-6.
and that's why he's going to be on Red Bull next year.
Look right there. You're like, how are you going to qualify? Are you going to give us a chance as a Red Bull that you're going to make it to Q3? That's what we consistently want. Just get to Q3. We'll worry about race day when we get there. You know we're going to have really fast pit changes.
Yep.
We're going to help you out there, but this was an interesting graphic of seeing how the teammates compete
against each other. It's cool to see, and then when you do look at it and actually look at like Leclerc, Hamilton, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
When you look at Verstappen, Tsunoda, it's like,
when you knew that was the case. Even Alonso Stroll, you would think that Stroll would maybe out-qualify him once on accident.
Nope.
Just on accident.
Nope. But I like the fact that the bottom tier teams, the bottom 5-6 teams, they're pretty darn close on everything except for qualifying. When you just let's not mention Stroll.
Yeah. I've been saying I like these slides. This is actually my favorite slide of this show. It's a cool stat.
It is.
If there was at least one race that every single team scored 0 points in.
Yep.
And you would think, how does McLaren have a race they score 0 points? It was a race that we were
at Vegas.
In Vegas, and we all remember. Of course, they didn't finish in 0 points, but when you get DQ'd after the race for a plate issue, same exact thing that happened too.
It's funny because you were like some of these teams. I don't remember the double DNFs,
right?
Or
Not even
the DNF or
out
the
of the
0
top 10.
points.
Yeah,
0 points. I don't even remember them, but I remember the Las Vegas.
Yep.
You got to remember the Dutch GP because that's the same thing that happened in McLaren's, and then the Mercedes. What happened in Monaco?
Yeah, was that the power unit?
Power unit.
Yeah.
Issues.
Well, no, you were saying so. The Dutch GP was when Ferrari.
Yeah, they got
had
a double
same
DQ.
plate issue that happened in Vegas to McLaren. So that's the surprising ones, and then Monaco. Double engine issue. I mean, that's just huge engineering error.
But I could remember those, like Abu Dhabi for
and
Alpine.
You remember the Austrian one for Red Bull because Yuki never finished in the points ever because he's terrible, and that was the one that Kimi took out, like we just mentioned. Kimi took out Max, so that's how they ended with 0.
That.
And you were alluding to Alpine and Abu Dhabi. That list is longer than Abu Dhabi.
Yes,
we
I
just
promise
put
you
one
that.
race because a lot of these teams just had one, but they never got no points for the team.
Let's talk about the
Alpine probably had about 19, 20.
And I know you know for sure, Nico, Bortoleto, Qatar. What happened there?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Why are we doing this?
I was just trying to light that fire a little bit.
Why are we doing this? I already talked about how much I hate Gasly. I don't know why we have to bring it up. I am now a Behrman lover. Haas, my hatred is gone, and Gasly. And I don't want to bring Ocon into this.
Okay.
It's not even really an Alpine issue for me. It's funny how bad they suck.
You mean Colapinto?
What did I say?
You said Ocon, but
Ocon,
you were mentioning Haas, so
Sorry.
I get it. Yeah. I just frustrated him.
Why do you bring that up? Yes.
It's just the race that they put out there is Qatar. So
there were multiple races that Kick Sauber got no points at. Yes, they got none in Qatar. Yes, Pierre Gasly is a complete piece of shit. Moving on to another one. I like this one.
Yep.
The engines for 26. What power units are going in each vehicle?
Yeah, this is cool.
How many different power units are in Formula One? Now, every year it changes. For 26,
5.
there are going to be 5.
5.
See,
and no more Renault.
Yes, Renault is gone. You have Mercedes, which maybe some viewers don't know. Obviously, Mercedes uses Mercedes, but McLaren
also uses
Mercedes. They don't use a McLaren power unit. There's Mercedes.
Get that question.
Red Bull's got the new Red Bull Ford.
Yeah, Ford America.
Going away from Honda.
Yep.
Honda only has Aston Martin left to provide a power unit for. Ferrari uses Ferrari, but Ferrari also lends a motor to Haas. And to our boys next year, Cadillac is going to be in a Ferrari.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? It's
now, I don't know how long that window is until Cadillac's going to start producing their own power unit.
I think they have it for 2 years.
2 years.
So it's
and,
2 years.
And it may even extend past that if in research and development, if Cadillac says we're not ready with this, because Cadillac is not in the business. They're making luxury cars typically for old people, or they have their Escalade. To be making a Formula One power unit, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
And I feel like McLaren, I'm surprised they don't make their own. Because they're in that supercar market. Why are they leaning on Mercedes?
So you got your Mercedes, your big known names. They have been doing this forever. I'm excited. Mercedes, stay with Mercedes. It's a great engine for McLaren. I'm excited. How is Ford going to be?
Yes.
Is that going to be reliable?
That's a risky one for Red Bull. They've been developing it for a few years now. I remember watching something on it. It was just a special on like the Discovery Channel or something I happened to tune into, and it was them at Red Bull a year and a half ago talking about how they were in development of their own engine. Now, at the time, they didn't mention that Ford was a partner. They kind of just said it's Red Bull going away from Honda. But they're putting that Ford name on there. They must have needed some monetary or some know-how assistance from Ford.
I'm excited.
But I love that for Ford.
I'm excited for Ford. I'm excited for you got Ford. You got Cadillac, one American team. Just shows how F1 is coming to America.
Haas is already.
Yeah, Haas is American, but they're based. They're not even based here. So Cadillac is actually going to have their home base in America. And then I want to talk about another new power unit, Audi. How is that going to be?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you rate these? How are we going to rate these vehicles next year? It's just we have no idea.
Yeah, it is all over the place. But I do like the sprinkling of, you have Ford obviously with Red Bull and the Baby Bulls. You have Cadillac, you have Haas. So we're getting a little more American sprinkling throughout Formula One. It's not all Europe and the UAE and Asia anymore. We're coming. And then this other one quickly is just kind of shows the super license entry fees for next season. So I didn't understand this. Boogie had to explain it to me. But it seems like a socialist economy that the more points that you get, the more expensive your super license is.
Yeah. Well, look at the Cadillac. They couldn't afford
$700,000.
Yeah.
Just give us $700,000.
We're good. Here you go.
Enough for your license.
And they're probably going to be a bottom feeder for a couple of years, paying. So
putting them above Alpine next year.
It's going to take a little bit to develop that car, and luckily they got Bottas and Perez to help them with it.
Fair. So, and you asked what factoids were. Do you want another fun factoid? A factoid, the evolution of Formula One teams. So kind of showing where they started, what they are. McLaren's always been McLaren. Ferrari, always Ferrari. Haas and Williams. I mean, that's kind of cool. But you have other teams, and you're probably going to have to help me with some of these because this is before my time of watching. But someone like, let's say where...
Well, if you go like Baby Bulls, okay. And we'll just, we don't need to go through all of them. But I'll just kind of go like when I started watching. You got Toro Rosso, or Toro Russo, however you want to say it. It used to be the Baby Bulls, and then it went to AlphaTauri, and now it's the V-Carb is what you call it. It's cool in the evolution. What is that Indy? It's Indy there, Boogie? Force Indy. And then the other pink car in the grid, I can't remember what that was. It was the whatever. There's so many different teams. The thing I wanted to mention is your Nico Hülkenberg is a slut.
Yes. Before we get into that, let's stay with the other one real quick.
Which one?
I think as someone who's been in Formula One for a couple of years now, you might be naive because it's been other than maybe Kick Sauber's switched around a little bit to Audi, Sauber, and all this. But you think, this is just Mercedes has always been a team. Well, they haven't. I mean, they were, what was it, Tyrrell way back? And there's just these evolution. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
on
the
main teams,
Yeah, it's just kind of neat to me to know that Alpine very likely is not going to be Alpine in 2-3 years because they've changed so many times.
No, and if Christian Horner buys them, it's not going to be Alpine.
Right. It's going to change that altogether. But yes, getting to the other chart, yes, Nico Hülkenberg, you can call him what you want. He's a journeyman. He's a journeyman that's been on a lot of different teams.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to him. If he can still score points, finish near the top 10, he's done 250 Formula One races, and you think, he's finally gotten a podium after all that. Well, when you're from Williams to
Force Indy.
And
then he was raced on Renault.
Back to Force Indy, and then he's with Aston Martin, and then he's with Haas and Kick Sauber, and now he's going to Audi, and he's constantly learning a new car, switching to a new team, different strategies, different engineers, different principles. Yeah. And the guy still finds a way. He is Ryan Fitzpatrick. He figures out a way, and it's going to be hard to dominate, one at his age, and another when you're constantly bouncing around, when you have guys like, Norris and Piastri. All they know is McLaren.
Yep.
And granted, they're not super experienced drivers. They haven't been in Formula One for 10 years or anything, but then you can make that same argument the other way and look at Hamilton. He's gone from McLaren to Mercedes, Ferrari.
Yeah. Russell's won a championship with McLaren and a championship with Mercedes. Yeah. Will he win a championship with Ferrari?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
We call Russell 3PG because he finishes third a lot. He could be the ping pong ball now because he went Williams, Mercedes, Williams, Mercedes.
Yeah.
So when is he going back with Williams?
So this is to clarify, Williams, and then I think he raced a race for Mercedes for so if you look at Behrman, they show a Ferrari and then a Haas. He raced a race last year, Behrman, for Ferrari, basically replacing somebody because they were sick or something like that.
I think wasn't it Hamilton? One of them
it was Sainz. Sainz, I think, had his appendix surgery.
Oh,
so
that's
Behrman
right.
They brought up to race for Ferrari.
So it goes on your record, kind of like Phillip Rivers right now. Mm-hmm. Goes on his record. His Hall of Fame starts all over because he plays a game for the Colts, which he's actually the starter again.
Yeah,
but
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a cool graphic to see the evolution of the teams and then to see these drivers on. Obviously, the younger guys, the rookies only know one team. They've only been around a little bit. And some of the veterans, I mean, Verstappen's only ever known Red Bull. I mean, if you stick with it, because if you're doing that well, what's the team
why
going to
leave? And to me, it's why leave. You can do the Daniel Ricciardo left because he didn't want to be by Max Verstappen, and then it kind of
soiled his career a little bit.
Completely, yeah. Went to Renault. Did he go to McLaren? Oh, he's not on there. I can't remember if he went to Renault. I don't know. That was stupid. He shouldn't have left. I love you, Handy Banter.
Interesting graphic. Moving on to one that maybe you will love because you're into clothing. I don't really care. I'll wear the same pair of jeans and t-shirt the rest of my life. But the kit suppliers, who supplies the gear for these boys? And Puma taking the lead. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, they're going with Aston Martin and Ferrari are big names, but then they have Sauber, they have Williams, but 4 of the 10 teams get their gear from Puma. I like Puma. I have a pair of Puma sweatpants that are very comfortable.
I don't really. What's Hugo? I'm not a big. I don't know.
Is that Hugo Boss?
That's what I would. Okay, so it's Hugo Boss.
You would think that Red Bull would have the same, but the Baby Bulls are with Hugo, and then you have.
I like Adidas being with.
Castori.
I like Adidas being with Mercedes. I don't really know what Castori is, except for it's got cool wings.
And Alpine Stars, they're huge into. Boogie used to have some gear from Alpine Stars.
Because back in the day when he was a skateboarder.
I was going to say the motobike circuit or whatever they call it, but all they can do is Haas. That's all they can afford.
Yeah, I get it.
And let's close the show with our champion.
Lando Norris!
2-time champion. Look at him back. So he is 26 years old, won his first Formula One championship this year. Yep. Back in 2014, he wins the karting champion at the ripe old age of 15.
Yep.
Look at him there. He doesn't have the, whatever they call
the fluff.
We'll
just call it the hair fluff. Well, it's cool because he was at the FIA Awards for the karting championship, 15 years old, with all of these stars, not even knowing, am I going to be an F1 driver?
11 years later, you're going to be that star.
Yeah.
You remember your dreams and you stick with it and you keep working hard and take advice and you can do anything. Do you think he said that in his speech?
He said a lot of different things. Max Verstappen had the flu, so he wasn't able to be at the FIA Awards. He did make a video congratulating.
He had the pouty flu. He didn't win.
No way. No, I don't think
kidding.
Max.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I was going to say that what he was probably doing is he had a iRacing event that night.
Yes, exactly.
I don't even need to be there.
He's involved in every single type of racing there is, and he was doing something else. And I want to keep this show going because Boogie is struggling over there.
Yeah, he's just holding.
The blinder fell off the light halfway through the show. If you saw the lighting go, and he is holding it and he's switching arms. So I just want to drag the show on and on because I can see sweat on his brow.
So Lando Norris too. I double check, and we're not going to announce it because I guess it was fake news. But they said after he won the championship that he proposed to his girlfriend. I saw that a few things on social media about that. Had to do a little bit of back research, and I never could confirm it. So I don't want to say that that's what it is, although she is hot.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
I can't confirm it, so. We'll announce it if it happens.
Yeah, we'll be here all off season giving shows like this. We're going to start releasing some shows where we kind of highlight a driver. We'll do kind of some quick format shows where we're talking. We have a Daniel Ricciardo one coming up. Yep. I think that's going to be exciting. But we'll have some more Factoid shows.
Factoids.
Just like this, and any breaking news that comes forward.
Yeah, and it's hard. Audi hasn't had a launch date yet.
He's struggling.
Cadillac is announcing on the Super Bowl. A lot of these teams for testing because they haven't locked down a design for the new car, are going to be doing testing in camo.
Okay.
So basically it's just like the McLaren will be in orange and black like it was last year. So I think a lot of the teams just haven't shot the liveries and stuff out for the 2026
And that'll be exciting
car.
with a little smaller car, new designs, Cadillac, all these new liveries.
I would almost like to wait. We'll do a show on Cadillac for sure because it's Cadillac and
Yes.
they're brand new. And then I think we do a show once all of the liveries and everything has been launched completely. Maybe we'll do one on Audi too.
We could
since they're
rank
new.
it. Maybe we could bring the women back to rank the livery shows.
I don't want to bring the women back. Okay, maybe we'll bring the women back.
We love the women.
All right, should we give Boogie a break?
We'll give you a break, Boogie. I love you, Boogie. Love you.
Follow us on YouTube at the United States of F1 and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at United States F1. Join us next time on USF1. Like and subscribe. Copyright Brugman Media Limited 2025. Love ya.